Hey, fellow agents, this is Agent Smith, and we are playing King's Quest 2. In the previous one, we finally got one of the actual items we need. We've got one of the stones, the Stone of Birth, or the Blue Stone. And, yeah, one step closer to resolving this door situation. So, I'm going to head back to the town because there's still some things to see. Plus, we got the best information so far we've gotten to help us with this by going to the library. So, excuse me, I'm going to check the library again and see if there's anything new, and hopefully maybe the antique store will finally be open as well. All right, we're back at the town here, and I just thought of something. This guy keeps sneezing from his hay fever. Maybe I can give him this thing. Here's a cloth. See? There you go. Blow your nose on that, weirdo.
Here. This might help your sneezing.
You just leave the hay, you'd be fine.
Thanks.
You can keep that.
Here, you can have this back now.
Oh, thank you.
You retrieve the partially used cloth from the haystack.
Feel
Yum.
better?
Yeah, it's so good to be able to
He just sneezed a needle out. We got the needle from the
You
haystack.
take the silver needle.
Thank you. That'll be useful for something, I'm sure. Thanks, buddy. Alright, let's go check with the librarian and see if there's anything new or interesting we can do here. Hello, ma'am.
Yes?
Could you recommend another good book?
She's just gonna give me random books. I love that she knows more about what's going on than I do to give me the right books every time.
There!
I think.
This book is entitled Legends. Browsing through it, you notice an interesting excerpt.
Daventry's first king, known to many as Leginimor, is as much an enigma of history as he is woven into the fabric of legend itself. Though his passing occurred nearly 1,000 years ago, it remains somewhat unclear as the manner of his death. What became of the power he wielded. Historians do know that Leginimor was a powerful magician, or a wizard, as he might be called nowadays. He's largely credited with bringing along with his kind magic and civility to Daventry and the surrounding world, and a love for fairy tales, apparently. According to the legend, though, during what was arguably the bloodiest war Daventry has ever seen, I can't imagine a war in this world at all, Leginimor sought to commit his awesome power to the cosmos. It is believed that he blamed himself for the extent of the Grand War, in particular, the magic that had been used to exacerbate the death toll. He therefore chose to render himself mortal, an action that would prove to be his last. However, legend would also suggest that his power may be unattainable. If only one were to perceive or understand how and when this is evidenced by a parchment located just a few centuries ago and dated 30 years after the first king's death. Oh, I still have more. Jeez. If seeketh you the power of Leginimor, thou shalt be well appraised. It will not be an easy task, for the path thou may be swayed. For in great Daventry lies the means for which it may be found, belonging to one who rules the land by one who wears the crown. From this circle nature springs, from the royal thoughts thus sown. Though woe betide the unjust thief who claims it for his own. In this great land 'tis known to rest the corpse of Leginimor, who died defending his home turf in the longest, fiercest war. His great mistake which sealed his fate, he cast his magic aside, up high into the heavens which forever stretches wide. But the search may be rewarding for the seeker of this power, as its apex soon approaches when cometh the darkest hour. Hark! Spy sun and moon and planets, as all of them align. The one prepared for the ascension will surely see the sign. Power thus can be granted to just one from this great tool. If one be thee, then thou shalt be the everlasting jewel. The first king's brother, Morgalen? Let's say Morgalen. The first king's brother, Morgalen, was also presumed killed in the Great Grand War. Legitimer's loyal first knight and successor, Granthor, that's the name of my ship. Huh, that makes more sense now. Ruled over the realm for nearly 50 years. He sired a number of children who either remained to guarantee the continuation of the royal bloodline or set forth to build kingdoms of their own. Anything else?
Yes?
Could you recommend another good book?
Sounds to me like that's a history that I'm going to need to help me to get where I'm going. I just got to figure out the sun, moon, and stars sign.
There!
What else you got? Let me see.
This book is entitled Power, Politics, and Pulpits. Browsing through it, you notice an interesting excerpt.
Holy crap. Nice. In many lands, the church and state have long past shared a mutual distrust of one another. While the state is responsible for the wealth and security of the realm, the church's concern is for the moral standing of the population. It is said that when one intrudes upon the domain of the other, discord is inevitable. In no other place has this been more unpleasant than Kolyma. The feud between the two institutions there dates back many decades. In the days of the late Count Craestrum, the Lord of Kolyma, spoke openly of the need for change, chiefly regarding the education of the common people. The Church of the Faith maintained that the simple people were of the land. They knew their rightful place, and thus their path was secure. Years later, the young and idealistic Count Kaldar, which is Craestrum's heir, declared that the Church of the Faith had purposely been holding the people back, retaining their ignorance of literature and the wider world from their own selfish benefit. Naturally, the church resented this insinuation, and in turn declared Kaldar a heathen. At that time, the mood of the population had tensed. Stability in the realm had weakened as the dissension between the church and the state rose. It may have continued to do so had the situation not been annulled by tragedy. The count befell a terrible injury while in the forest one night, which later proved fatal. While it expressed its condolences to the family of the fallen lord, the Church of the Faith asserted that only through its own vision for Kolyma, not the rulers, could the people find their true path. It is a curious point to note that no new leader has been chosen to replace Kaldar, though it has been many years since his passing. When questioned about this, the townsfolk are likely to either ignore the inquiry altogether or cast a furtive glance in the direction of the now inaccessible castle. You got anything else?
You have nothing else to say at the moment.
Well, that was a minorly interesting reading. It gives us an idea of what we got to do. Some stuff is with the church. Is this place open now? Can I please go check this store out? Oh my goodness. Yes, there we go. It's about time. Look at that
The
thing.
little old lady is tiny, with twinkling blue eyes. Her white hair is done up in a neat bun on top of her head. She appears at first to be in her 60s. Then you notice the sheer quantity of makeup plastered on her face, and decide that she may well be older than that.
Or younger. She just looks old because of that.
A large and incredibly hefty-looking mallet is propped up against the shelf. A small engraving on its head reads, Broggy. You are inside. Apparently, this interesting-looking item is a Model DX cartridge retrieval unit. Quite a useful little device.
What?
In another time and place.
Yeah. I was going to say, in Space Quest, I think, is where that belongs.
It is a red sorcerer's hat. It is a tiny harp. How cute.
But I could use that in another
Obviously, the Swiss haven't quite got the idea yet.
game. Swiss Army Knight.
You are inside a cute... There are some vases on display in this antique shop. You are...
Just, you are until I see something
A rather
interesting.
beaten and tarnished brass lamp is positioned on the countertop. Ah, dragonfire! Oh, no, wait. it's just a mounted dragon head. An expensive-looking statue catches your eye. It is sculpted of white marble and appears to be the only item of any real value within the shop. You find it quite odd that this grand statue is situated amongst other ordinary items of far less value.
Let's talk to her. See if we can find some information about all this stuff.
Good afternoon. What can I do for you, dear?
Hello. Do you sell anything that would aid in ascent up a mountain?
Unfortunately, I do not sell climbing equipment or anything of that sort. This is really a specialist store.
Yeah, it
Oh.
seems.
However, I do have
Of
an
course.
item which you might find useful.
This lamp.
This lamp is said to contain a genie. I haven't tried it myself, of course. I do not believe in using magic to solve my problems. Nature has made us as we are, and we should be glad of that.
This is true.
How much for the lamp?
The old lady hesitates. You sense she wants more from you than your money. You hope it is not anything that you will regret.
Oh, here
Well, seeing as how you are a man who seems adept at taking care of himself, perhaps you could do a small favor for me?
Somehow, you knew she was going to say that.
I once owned a beautiful Nightingale, quite rare around here, but the sentimental value far outweighs its monetary worth.
we go. Of course.
That foul old witch Hagatha has stolen it from me, probably to use in some concoction or another.
Her
She's
nose
rich.
screws up in disgust.
So, if you could be a sweetie and retrieve it for me, I will trade you. The lamp for the bird.
Yeah, that doesn't seem
Agreed?
fair, but whatever. Yeah.
Well,
Whatever.
I'll see what I can do.
Do be careful. If Hagatha should spot you out of her good eye, then you'll be in for it.
Or if she touches you with her dick nose. Let's go ahead and head over to the caves. That's where she's located, so we'll go ahead and check that out. I'm guessing from the opening sequence, including the fact that we found that actual cave, so... I'm gonna have to figure this out. Let's take a better look at all of this stuff. And save for safety, because this place will kill me. It'll spike me through.
Unless you are mistaken, the symbol above the cave entrance bears a striking similarity to a bat. A shiver runs down your spine as you look at it. It's almost as if some dark force were radiating from it.
Yeah, we know it is. Oh.
It is a
look at this.
human skull with a radiant blue stone wedged into its eye socket.
I've got a radiant blue stone. What about this one?
It is
Yeah,
a human
nothing.
skull with large eye sockets.
We got one on the right eye on the previous one. Let's try my radiant blue stone. I don't lose this in the left eye.
As you attempt to place the
Or-
birth gem into the skull, you discover that it does not fit properly. Instead, it juts out uselessly like a bulging eyeball.
Well, let me see what I can figure out.
You take the birth gem.
Can I try it again? Look at it.
The birth gem protrudes from the skull like a bulging eyeball. You'll somehow need to push it in further.
I'll fucking lose this thing. Let's push it in with. I got a hammer. Get it in there.
You gently tap the birth gem with the mallet, hoping not to break it. It budges only slightly. You give it a harder hit. It moves a bit more. You hold your breath and give the gem an
Whammo!
almighty thwack. It pops into the skull.
There we go. Never getting that back,
The
but at least it
birth
fits.
gem is now fully inside this skull's eye socket.
That'll work. Now we have a way, hopefully, based on the poem that we read or story, the story from Possum. See what happens. Nope, that wasn't it. Well, if that didn't work, stone back.
As you face the skull towards the image of the bat above the cave,
Or
you
that
notice that its
too.
wing has faded slightly. However, you suspect that whatever danger the bat represents is still in effect.
Of course. Well then, let's try that over here then.
You turn the rightmost skull so that it faces the bat symbol above the cave entrance.
You've been frozen, Batman.
The power of the two skulls combined has caused the bat symbol to disappear. You sense whatever danger it represented has now subsided.
Useful. Okay, now I want to save and go in. Wiggy, wiggy. Wiggy, wiggy. Oh, shit.
As you enter, you are almost overwhelmed by the foul stench which molests your nostrils.
Oh,
It
that's
is
a
obviously coming from
crazy
whatever
description.
Hagatha is cooking in that large cauldron of hers. There are some things of interest on the other side of the cave, but you
Like the
have no
Nightingale.
means of crossing over there safely at this time. A caged nightingale sits on the floor near the northern cave wall. The light from outside barely penetrates the interior of this cave. So long as you keep your distance, Hagatha shouldn't notice you.
Okay. I'll try that.
You need to get
I'm trying to get as close as I can.
being as quiet as a mouse. You slide your hand inside the cloak to discover a deep pocket. Amongst sticky and disgusting spell ingredients, you find a tiny silver key and a peculiar golden ring-shaped device.
It is.
This odd circular device intrigues you. It depicts several different symbols around its outer rim. The sun, a mountain range, a drop of water, and a cloud.
This is a puzzle piece that we're going to need for the sun, moon, and stars, I bet.
The key would fit a small lock.
Bet it would. Well, we're here. Let's save this alternately, just in case. I want to overwrite a file and find out I fucked up, so... Now, let's see if we can...
The cage is held in place by a thick chain. The lock requires a small key.
Which we have. And... lock.
You slide the silver key into the lock. It fits. You turn it silently, and the chain falls to the ground. You hear Hagatha begin a chant of some kind while stirring her brew.
Crap. Take it. Oh, crap.
Uh-oh, Hagatha has seen you.
This is why I saved.
You are the gentleman, saving me a lot of trouble by coming here.
Yeah, right? Seems like she'd be looking right at me this whole time, too. No.
Ask the bird to be quiet next time.
Right? Well, the quiet a
You
bird,
hear Hagatha.
you can cloth a sheet over them and puts them asleep.
The fluid of blood.
You silently drop the
bone
cloth
and
over the
flesh.
cage.
Take it and get the fuck out of here. I
Without
don't know what
making a
she's
sound,
doing.
you take the nightingale into your possession.
I possess you, Nightingale.
Twill make my complexion
Deuces.
young and fresh.
Whew. I don't trust what she was planning to do. Plus, that might actually help her. Although that whole young and fresh thing
You
might
strike
not be.
the skull with all your
Yeah.
strength, and it shatters easily.
Give me
The
back my
birth gem
stone.
clatters to the ground, along with a multitude of bone fragments.
It's my stone. No one will ever get in and
You
out of this cave.
reacquire the birth gem.
No one will ever be able to get in and out of this cave. That'll be useful to me. By the way, that was a bit of study and a bit of research. I'm going to go ahead and save this here. We actually got the stone that we need. So, we will take this stone back and see what this woman has for us. Plus, we got a device that I think is involved with the air gem based on the fact that there's a sun on a dialing system. It sounds like it'd be something like that. Aligning things. It makes sense to me. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day. Hey, fellow agents. Don't forget to like and subscribe by clicking the button in the center of the screen. You can also find the last video by clicking the button to the left. And you can take a look at some of the other stuff I've done by clicking the button to the right. Hope you enjoyed the video. And have a good day.